Liverpool, as it stands, 3 clear of Chelsea. Chelsea, though, have a game in hand, as do Spurs over Jurgen Klopp's side. Let's remind you of the run-in. Liverpool, basically, if they beat Brighton, they're fine. They will qualify for the Champions League. If not, though, you could see Chelsea come back. They've got Huddersfield midweek and then away against Newcastle. Spurs, meanwhile, have got Newcastle and then Leicester City. Are you worried?
No. Listen, there's that little thought in the back of your head, but at the end of the day, listen, if you can't beat Brighton at home on the last day of the season to play in next year's Champions League, I just don't see how Liverpool don't do it.
They just had their issues with Stoke not too long ago.
Yeah. And
West Brom.
And West Brom.
But, listen, the big game, big day, Liverpool will turn up.
Meanwhile, Gab, Spurs aren't home and hosed yet when it comes to the top 4. What's going on with them? Couldn't beat West Brom.
No, look, I think we're at the stage of the season where if you play teams that are scrapping and scraping, you guys mentioned Stoke and West Brom against Liverpool, you're going to have a tough time. And they had a tough time even before that goal at the end. I would imagine they're okay, given who they're playing on the last day of the season, how those guys have been on the beach for some time. But, you know, Chelsea are there. They're lying in wait. I was there today. I thought, you know, they didn't play particularly well, but they're certainly not giving up, and they seem very focused. So, over to you, Liverpool and Spurs.
Is this a conversation worthy of continuing?
If you so desire, you're the host of this show. We're here hoping that you can do a good job.
Do you think maybe Chelsea can get into the top 4?
No, not based upon who both Liverpool and Tottenham are playing. That's pretty much it. That's where the deciding factor is.
It is the penultimate team of the week of the season.
Oh.
Nickel.
What a team it is.
And Marcotti come together to put their best 11, which then makes the ultimate 11. And look at the stars on this.
Star-studied it is.
Wow.
Wow, what a weekend that was.
I'm guessing Gab's got 11 again, because I haven't. I actually, as good as Bellerin was good, but it was a nothing game. I had Cedric for Southampton. What a fantastic
Did Huddersfield have to make a save? Did City have a shot?
Yes.
When?
You got to make a couple of brilliant saves. You obviously you would have had a couple of team playing with the kids.
I watched the whole game. And
right.
What saves did
well, both Gab and I have them, so...
Oh, so you must be right. Must be right.
No idea what you're talking about.
You know how convenient it is when you rely on Gab. You say, yeah, but Gab and I had it, but when he doesn't pick your guys, and you say, Gab doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, that's the rules, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
I actually had Noble. I didn't have Loftus-Cheek. I didn't have Gross. I had Livermore. I mean, at the end of the day, or at this time of the season, it's about importance.
How can Livermore not be there?
I know. I had him.
Gab, where's Livermore?
Gab's in charge of all this. You must have noticed that over the weeks.
I didn't have Livermore either.
Hey?
I had other West Brom players, you'll be pleased to know, like Higazi and Ben Foster, but Livermore, not really my bag.
Well,
yeah, because
I had Kouyaté in
that
there.
goal doesn't count, does it? No, it's just a rubbish goal. Doesn't count.
Well, it was a scrambled, crummy goal. But sorry, Stevie,
it's the importance
you're the one who taught me.
It's the importance of the goal
Stevie,
that matters. What?
Stevie, though, you told me not to judge people simply by whether they score goals because it can bounce off your backside, and we should look beyond this and the total contribution of the player, right?
Cap, when have you ever listened to one word that's come out of my mouth? Let's be honest.
I'm intrigued by your pick for manager.
Yeah, you
Who
guys.
did you have?
I didn't have Darren Moore.
Who was that?
Who did you have?
I had David Wagner. Again, it's a huge... They've done something against Manchester City that very few teams have done this year. What do you mean, oh, come on?
Well,
to go to Manchester City, a team that against a team that staring relegation in the face, and to get a point isn't a huge deal.
No. I'm not suggesting it's not absurd, but come on, it's Morrow, it's Darren Moore. He's beaten everybody. West Brom were down and they were dead, and he goes and he even beat Spurs.
Yeah,
Spurs with Pochettino.
Why are you shouting?
This guy goes.
Well, by the way, everybody's beating Spurs in it. Yeah, why are you shouting at me? I didn't say Darren Moore was a bad
Because I get
pick.
excited about Darren Moore. I don't get excited by David Wagner, another German coach with glasses. And you know what? Manchester City, I know Guardiola came out and says we want to get the record and whatever else, and they're super highly motivated. come on, you know that players go on the beach. Surely West Brom beating a Spurs team that needs points to get in the top 4 and not be a gigantic embarrassment, surely that's worth more than drawing with a Man City team who I think they've earned a little bit of a break at this stage.
I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I think it's a very good pick. I just happened to pick somebody else.
That's it then. That's done for Team of the Week for this week.
That's it. Hey, the guy gave you this. The whole 2 minutes he gave you this.
He was shouting
We
at me
will
the
be
whole time, wasn't he?
next week for the last one of the whole season, Stevie.
Oh, can't he wait?
Oh,
Heartbreaking.
I'll miss it because it's real fun doing it every week.
Zinedine Zidane, this is what he had to say about the officials after the game. There was nothing in play, but we saw a good game from both teams. Everyone who likes football can be happy with a game like that. Always, the football is more important than the controversies people want to make. There from Zidane.
Yeah, and he's right in the sense that it was a very good game. It was open. Even when Barcelona was a man down, they were still attacking Real Madrid. It's not like they sat back. They don't know how to do that anyways. That's not what they want to do on the field. It was back and forth. Big game players, big goals. I think it's a big moment also for Gareth Bale.
Yep.
That's an important goal for him, and one that he can use to keep himself in some sort of positive mindset going forward, because it has been a very, very frustrating season for him.
Out of all of the calls, which one baffles you the most?
Oh, the penalty. I mean, incredible. It's funny. In a week where people have been criticising referees for deciding games, which is completely false. Actually, today, Zidane he would have the right to turn around and say, but for the referee, we would have won this game. Because, no question, Varane's fouled by Suarez. And the fact that they don't get the penalty on Marcelo is absolutely
But then
ridiculous.
I suppose they could argue as well, Bale should have been sent off. You agreed with that. That should have been a red on the stroke of half-time as well. So it wasn't just all one-way traffic.
Yeah, but Dan, we're talking about two decisions that only the referee in that stadium could figure out. One, it wasn't a foul on Varane, and two, Marcelo's wasn't a penalty. We're talking about ridiculous decisions by the referee that no question cost Zidane the game. We can turn around and say, well, he should have got that, maybe he should have got that. But the bottom line is, 2 goals. We're talking about 2-goal swing here, so no question, referee cost Real Madrid and Zidane the game.
And it's a valid point, Stevie, but it's also valid to say, look, Gareth Bale tackle on Umtiti was awful.
Yeah.
And that's a straight red card, and I don't think there is any sense in arguing that. So he should not have been on the field, and so if you go by your logic, then that's a goal that Real Madrid doesn't score, because he ends up scoring the goal that ties the game up. So if we're going to use your logic,
we're
then...
going to start talking about ifs and ands and buts now.
No. Well, you used it. I'm just using your own logic.
I'm not guessing. I am not guessing. There's no guessing involved in... we could sit and go back and forward and argue whether Bale should have got a red or a yellow. Right?
No, there's no argument there.
But
there's no argument there. That's a red card.
He never even got a yellow. Anyway, but what
would you have given him?
What we will not do is have any sort of doubt as to the Varane foul and the Marcelo penalty kick. Absolutely no doubt whatsoever.
All right. What would you have given Bale then?
I've already told you I would have given him a red card.
Okay, then.
I just want to take about the Sergio Roberto. Why do you think maybe it wasn't a red?
Yeah, because I think there is an intent there, but it's merely a touch on the shoulder. It's a...
You can't assault your opponent.
Assault!
He's thrown it at him.
Assault!
I don't care I don't care how hard you hit him. You can't hit him.
No.
It's got nothing to do with how hard you hit him, Ali. It's to do with hitting him. And he hit him. So you're off. Bye-bye. See you. Take that little red thing.
Assault. You're going to go with assault. A man like that play the game the way you play the game, you're going to go with assault.
Listen.
No. You're going to go with assault on that?
Assaulting somebody does sound rather harsh. But at the end of the day, what I said is right. You can't touch you can't throw a fist at your opponent.
I can see why he gets a red card, but come on now. You can argue that Marcelo's getting into him and he gets a red card for reacting to it, but in a game of this quality...
It's an absolute no-brainer. I can't believe you're sitting here arguing with yourself.
That's a no-brainer, and the Gareth Bale one is not a no-brainer?
I can't believe you're arguing with yourself, because you're not arguing with me.
Gav, what do you say? Split the boys for us.
All right. Look, this is probably the least important Clásico that we've had in some time. There was nothing really at stake, and We saw a tremendous open game with moments of wonderful skill, like Ali said. So we can all kind of yuck it up afterwards and talk about the many refereeing errors. But I'll tell you what, VAR can't come soon enough. Either that or better officiating, because this was absolutely horrendous on both sides. And Ali's kind of right. Gareth Bale's very good, but if he's not on the pitch because he's been sent off, he's not good enough to score that second goal because he's not materially there.
If the hands were pots and pans, my old granny used to say to me.
This wasn't supposed to be like this, though, was it?
Yeah, but that's people ignoring the rivalry that exists. Right. Nothing would have given Real Madrid more pleasure than to beat Barcelona at the Camp Nou, and then that whole unbeaten run is over. And it was there for Real Madrid, and had it not been for a refereeing decision, then that might have changed. But the truth of the matter is that when you put these teams together, a real rivalry has a general dislike between the players and a general dislike between the fan bases and a history of success from both clubs. And you have all of that in this, and that's why it means so much. It means so much to the players. It means so much to the fans. It means so much to us watching. And when you see it being an entertaining match, I think it makes it all the better for everybody.
Can we give Messi some love?
Yeah, again? He's all right. He's all right.
It's not a surprise, though, is it? I mean, I'm not sure whether I've ever seen anybody with such quick feet. I mean, he's incredible. He looks to have no space, nothing, and all of a sudden, little pitter-patter, gets himself half a yard. And unfortunately today, his little clip went wide, but how many times have we seen that go in the top corner?
Give your love, Keylor Navas.
Yeah, great goalkeeping performance.
Yeah, keeps Real Madrid in the game and a breakaway against Lionel Messi, and then that near post save. Good work by Keylor Navas once again.
Barcelona, of course, looking to maintain this unbeaten run to the end of the season. They've got Villarreal at home midweek, then away against Levante, and then at home against Real Sociedad. They avoid defeat in those 3 games. They'll be the first team ever in La Liga history to go a whole campaign undefeated. Meanwhile, when it comes to our Clásico since the 2009-2010 season, it's pretty impressive. The haul of goals between both Messi and Ronaldo, but it's Messi very much ahead of the Portuguese at the moment when it comes to wins, 14-8. Juve will be champions once again unless they lose their next 2 matches by 1,000,000 goals to nil.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you take a look at the race for the top 4. We saw Roma with a win today. Inter also with a victory. Lazio could only manage a draw, meanwhile, against Atalanta, which means, Gab Marcotti, it could all come down, couldn't it, to the final day of the season regarding that Champions League race with that match between Inter and Lazio.
Yeah, no question about it. I think at this stage of the season, a lot of it is about who's sort of trending upwards and who's trending downwards. No question about it. Lazio have had a tremendous campaign. They are running out of steam. Some pretty serious injuries as well. Immobile and Luis Alberto for them. Hard to come back from that. And as for Inter, they are clicking, probably, hopefully for them, at just the right time. Rafinha stepping up. Icardi's banging them in. Perisic and the Bras are also waking up. So it is coming together. It is ultimately, I think those 90 minutes will decide it. But I think the momentum's with Inter right now.
Welcome to Extra Time. We've got lots of questions, so I'm going to go straight to them if you don't mind.
All right.
No jibber-jabbering. Which game was better, Chelsea, Liverpool, or Barca, Madrid?
Is that a real
Is that a real question? Seriously.
Barca Madrid was good, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Great game.
Much better than I thought people would have expected, but...
Yeah, well, it was sold as like decaffeinated, wasn't it? That was a word
that's never the case. Never the case.
No.
Chelsea, Liverpool was just...
Decaffeinated.
Gab, you were at the Chelsea game. That must have been exciting.
It was tense, but no, compared to what happened in the Clásico, it's no contest. But Dan, I do wonder, you say you have lots of questions. Is this the best one to start with when it's such a kind of obvious answer?
I have no idea. I'm not in charge of choosing the questions. I was just told they were good questions.
If you start with the worst one, it can only get better. Well, you don't start with the best and work your way down to the garbage.
Well, the next one is from Andrew Osati, who used to be in this seat.
So actually, it may be worse than the last one.
What should happen if VAR breaks down at a crucial match-defining moment, as it did when ruling on the only goal scored in this weekend's A-League Grand Final? This, of course, going to happen in the World Cup.
See, again, it is a pretty silly question.
Oh, careful now.
Well, what else are you going to do? Are you going to cancel the game? No. You let the officials do what they do.
Do their job.
Unfortunately, if VAR breaks down, then there's nothing you can do about it. So you go with the officials.
We go old school.
That's
Old
it.
school.
Is there a contingency, Gav? You know everything about VAR.
I mean, I think the protocols here vary from league to league. You need to know exactly what broke down, because ultimately you're talking about video images. If it's
You need to know what
whatever
broke down to
circular
fix it. Obviously. Right?
Thank you, Stevie.
I'm just...
Well, no. Depending on the nature of the breakdown, you would assume that
Well, you
it
look
could
at
probably be
me.
fixed on the fly in most places, but given how much they love VAR in Australia,
Right, come on,
which
the
is
next
not at all,
question.
I'm not surprised it broke down and they were like, all right, that's fine. No need to fix it. Move on.
That's Andrew Orsati's question. Next one is from Damon, who I know works on the show, and our producer would have forced him to ask this because he tried to ask us this earlier. Is Giroud better than Morata?
Well, I think Conte probably
what?
thinks he is. Because guess what? He's playing and Morata's not.
Morata's injured at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, but even when he was fit, he wasn't playing ahead of Giroud.
Yep.
Clever. Trying to be clever there, wasn't he?
Well, I'm just making sure that everyone
Yeah, he
knows.
was trying to be clever.
Just
trying to
making
make me
sure
look
that it's
stupid.
clear. Just
You were trying to
clear.
make me look stupid.
Just clear that
Just tell the
everybody knows.
truth.
No.
You were hoping.
No.
You were hoping I'd have
Never.
nothing to come back at
I
you
would
with.
not want to do that.
But I did, so take that.
No, what?
Are you suggesting that our producer forces people to do something?
That's very much up his street.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems like an amicable guy.
And you said we are lucky. Ali Moreno, congrats. Your Barca get away with another.
And who's we?
You.
I know, but and you guys
Real Madrid.
said we.
You said Real Madrid were lucky. Oh, Roma.
Right?
What? Wait, I'm confused.
Who's we?
I don't know. Stop saying Roma in my ear. I don't know what that means. And you guys said Roma. What?
It doesn't say Roma. It said.
I would suggest it's from a Real Madrid fan.
No idea.
Yes.
Oh, no, he's given up.
That's it.
I would suggest it's from a Real Madrid fan.
Again, I thought he was an
Well,
amicable guy.
Because we said that they were lucky,
Right.
and then, okay, Phil, I'll shut up.
Let's get to the business end of the questioning, shall we? It was quite a dramatic week last week when it came to Mr. Ali, whoever the hell he is.
That would be me.
Yes.
Yes.
How
that would
scared
be
is Moreno for when Palotta comes on and buries him? Oh. What? He's going to come on the show, isn't he, apparently?
And I'm supposed to be scared?
Oh, I don't know.
You haven't seen the two big burly guys he's got with him.
Well,
He's got two big ones with him.
I could be scared of those guys.
Aren't you friends with Palotta, Stevie? Do you know him? Yeah. Or is it just Maras?
No, I don't know. No of them.
Now, if they're expecting for me to back down,
Who's that?
happening.
Hold on, do that laugh again.
That's not happening.
Do you know, that was the equivalent of... That was the equivalent of...
Yeah, I know, it was. I know.
Yeah.
Gav knows me well. if my Twitter feed has got anything to suggest that Gav is basically the king of Roma fans.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
very much.
Yes.
Drop that mic, Gav.
I heard Gab was given the keys of the city of Rome.
I'm not even from Rome, but look, what's funny is I just want to hear like Ali's cartoon villain laugh again. That was special.
Brilliant, wasn't
It was a bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know me.
It was a bit close to the bone.
it? It was pretty good.
How's your Twitter feed been, by the way? And the old notifications.
Very active.
Yes.
A lot of passionate Roma fans. Yes, and they've let me know that I'm all sorts of things.
Yes.
Most of all, irrelevant,
Right.
and I know nothing, and insignificant, which bemuses me because it begs the question: then why are you getting so mad at me? Then my opinion means nothing. Then why are you getting so worked up?
It's a fair
I know. I don't know.
If you took any players from teams 7 to 20 in the Premier League and combined them into one squad, would it finish in the top 6?
Okay. Man, this is a science project. I didn't know we had to prepare for science.
What's going on, brother?
You are the EPL apologist, Ali. So maybe this is...
Apparently, which was you asked about my Twitter activity. All of a sudden, I'm the biggest EPL fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is all gone sideways.
Stevie's trying to do this seriously.
Yes. You're doing the.
Well, it's all ifs and ands and pots and pans again, isn't it?
Ifs and ands and pots and pans.
You'd have to think that there's at least one player in 13 teams that you would really like to have in your side.
Right.
Surely. Now, don't ask me who, but I'm sure there must be one in every team. Because that's all it is.
You combine the lower...
All the teams,
Okay.
Yeah, so like the 13 squads, put them all together, pick your best team from those.
Can they beat Arsenal?
So it's 14 teams. You get to pick 11 players from 14 teams.
And can you beat Arsenal?
Can you beat Arsenal? Yeah, you got to say yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gab, would you like any input in this?
Is Wenger still the coach of Arsenal?
I actually really like this question. I think
you would.
And I was, because I'm sad, I was actually trying to go and put an 11 together.
This is why it's the king.
There's a whole bunch of boring caveats to this. Because the question is, would they finish in the top 6, right? So they'd be playing against those other 14 teams. So would they be playing against themselves? Or would they disappear from those teams and play for this newly formed team? And would there then be 21 teams in the Premier League?
Don't go there.
That's it. I can't.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, keep going.
We're all leaving.
Sorry, Gab, can you say that again? I missed that.
I'm sorry. Do I still need to talk to the Roma fans
Ali,
or can
come
I
on.
go?
Ali, come on.
Oh no, the Roma fans don't want me anyway.
Gab, actually, can you name me 5 players from the other 14 teams?
What's he doing?
5 players from the other 14 Premier League teams.
Go ahead, guy. Keep going.
Keep going, Gab. See ya.
Jamie Vardy, Jack Butland, Ahmed Hegazi,
Right.
Manolo Gabbiadini, Dusan Tadic, Maya Yoshida.
Who's
Just
coaching the
naming
team,
Southampton
Gab?
players here, but I'll just keep going then.
Who's coaching the team, Gab?
We did after this.
Who's coaching the team from the bottom 14? It's got to be Darren Moore since we made him our coach and team of the week.
Go home, everyone. Gab, go home. That is it. We are done. ESPN FC returns tomorrow with a big surprise.